Brought to you by Vertical 6, Tech Collective, and my employer, Connectivity Point Design and Installation. My name is Nicole Courtemanche. Say that 10 times fast. And I will be presenting Standards Matter, Optimizing Your IT, Voice, and Data Infrastructure, aka Telecommunications, with Certified Structured Cabling in a Post-Pandemic World. A little bit about myself. I'm a native Rhode Islander, born and bred out of No School Foster, Gloucester, mom of 3, 2 teenagers still in Rhode Island, and a young 20s aspiring actress who is now living out her dreams in Chicago, Illinois. I'm a certified Scrum Master. No, not the rugby kind, the project methodology kind. I'm more than 10 years in managing software lifecycle projects in agile and hybrid environments, and for nearly a decade, I helped to operationally manage and market interactive payment applications here in local Rhode Island government. I worked on a global technology level for a UK company and in 5 countries in Latin America, where I delivered a few webinars in this format on artificial intelligence. I sit on the board of directors of our neighboring New England Chamber of Commerce in Central Mass South, aka the Crossroads of New England, representing over 300 businesses and thousands of employees in 11 towns in Hampden and Worcester counties. Currently, I am employed here in our native Rhode Island for the East Coast-based company Connectivity Point Design and Installation, where our passion is to deliver the very best in structured cabling services and low voltage technologies. And this is where we begin. We will discuss from a high level the birth of telecommunications. We'll fast forward to today and review the basics of structured cabling standards, structured cabling benefits, low voltage wiring, disciplines of low voltage like audiovisual, security, telephony, wireless, and also touch upon the low voltage trends of today with fiber optics, audio-video conferencing, keyless key scan entry, and thermal cameras. The birth of telecommunications. The very first worldwide telecommunication web emerged in the 1800s with the invention of the telegraph and the telephone. These devices brought the first innovation leading to computers, communications over electrical wiring. In 1844, Samuel Morse's telegraph invention sent coded electrical signals over a wire. And in 1876, Alexander Graham Bell's telephone invention sent the sound of voice directly from person to person. The public was very enthusiastic at that time, and some noted that the technologies would one day help to restore world peace. Fast forward to today. We rely on telephones and computers to aid us in communicating over distance, which helps us to function in our daily life. So much so that during the 2020 pandemic shutdown, telecommunication businesses and services were deemed essential and allowed to operate. The new normal has yet to be fully realized as social distancing continues to be mandated by government-enforced stay-at-home orders. Remote communications therefore demand the need for solid networking infrastructure and expanded connectivity. In telecommunications, structured cabling is the infrastructure supporting connected subsystems. The following cabling components make up the physical part of this infrastructure. Twisted pair cabling. We can thank Alexander Graham Bell once again for this telecom invention in 1881. It's a type of wiring in which 2 conductors of a single circuit are twisted together to improve electromagnetic compatibility. Twisted pairs include category cables, or what is nicknamed CAT, which delivered X number of megahertz of electricity. 1 megahertz equal 1 million cycles of electricity per second. CAT 5e, 100 megahertz of electricity, CAT 6 at 250, CAT 6a at 500 megahertz, CAT 7 at 600, and CAT 8 at 2000 megahertz. Optical cabling. A fiber optic cable is like an electrical cable but contains a singular or multiple optical fiber used to carry light. Fiber is used for high-speed connections, sometimes referred to as broadband. There are 3 types of fiber optic cables: single mode, multi-mode, and plastic optical. Multimode and singular are used in networks to transmit data. Continuing our cabling components that make up the physical infrastructure are patch panels. A patch panel unit houses several similar jacks used to connect and route circuits for easier monitoring and testing. For telecommunications and networks, a patch panel is crucial. A patch panel is a board with several different ports to connect wiring. Ethernet patch panels are configurable. For example, there is a Cat5e, Cat6, and Cat6a patch panel, each with different port counts such as a 24-port and a 48-port panel. Copper patch panels are used to consolidate cabling so that a server rack looks neat and organized and can be easily managed by an administrator or IT manager. Patch cords. A patch cord can either be a twisted pair cable or an optical cable used to connect one electronic or optical device to another for signal routing. Network faceplates. A wall plate that allows access to data and voice ports that originate from the work area to the IT closet. Structured cabling is a network structure supporting other components like data, telephony, and building access control. Structured cabling systems can be divided into 6 subsystems: work area, horizontal cabling, backbone cabling, equipment room, IT voice and data closet, and entrance facilities. In entrance facilities, it's where the communications connectivity company or the phone company installs telecommunications equipment. Equipment rooms and backbone cabling. Backbone cabling is the structured cabling foundation between the entrance facilities, equipment rooms, or where the electronics are stored, and telecommunication closets. Continuing on with the 6 subsystems are IT voice and data closets. They connect the backbone cabling and the horizontal cabling. Then there's horizontal cabling, that's wiring that connects telecommunication rooms to work areas, usually via a floor's wireways, conduits, or ceiling spaces. And then there's the work area. It connects computers and other equipment to outlets of the horizontal cabling. An RCDD, or Registered Communications Distributor Designer, is BICSI, Building Industry Consulting Service International certified to design a detailed system for a new building or accommodate his or her design to an existing infrastructure. They have studied how to design a system that will meet the data and network capacity of an organization. Long gone should be the days when cabling infrastructure is designed simply by measuring a run from point A to B and determining labor and materials cost. The standards set forth by Smart Technology Design help an RCDD design a detailed system for either a new building or an existing infrastructure that meets the data and network capacity of the respective organization. RCDDs and Certified Network Cable Installers, CNCIs, follow guidelines set forth by the Telecommunications Industry Association, TIA, and the Electronic Industry Alliance, EIA. Most especially, CNCIs practice the standards set forth by TIA EIA-568. The purpose of the TIA EIA-568 version 2017, the latest version, is to provide optimal advisement on the proper commercial cabling to support telecommunications devices and services. During cabling installation, CNCIs install pinouts of the twisted pairs to RJ45 connectors. These pairings are also outlined in the TIA EIA-568 guidelines. Low voltage wiring is structured cabling. It's a cabling system that supports digital technology and communications equipment full circle. Low voltage systems include electrical equipment that use 50 volts of electricity or less. A solid structured cabling system promotes organizational and technological versatility. with standard post-installation certified test results, proper labeling, warranties, and as-built, an IT or network administrator can expect reliability with a reduced risk of downtime, flexibility in range of supporting subsystems, easier overall systems management, and better warranty coverages, cost efficiency, high return on investment, and uncomplicated future strategic planning. In construction planning, low voltage is often detailed in Divisions 27 and 28 in specification documentation. Commercial buildings often have complex systems such as computer networking and data, telephony and Wi-Fi, audiovisual, and security. These components need a cabling system that is separate and distinct from electrical wiring. The result of professional low voltage wiring and rack management to support low voltage systems can be a beautifully engineered work of art. These photos are of my company's actual work, and they're not stock photography. Audiovisual, or AV, is any electronic device that offers sound and a visual, like televisions, movies, theaters, and conferencing. An AV service provider frequently offers live AV services like internet streaming and audio-video conferencing. Web-based AV is often used in education, from the projectors to whiteboard components. Audiovisual systems normally contain different subsystems that address requirements needed of the presentation. A subsystem in this sense is a group of components that work to create a presentation containing a sound and a visual. In respect to low voltage, AV can be connected into the cabling infrastructure so it can be managed over a network or be connected via wireless connectivity, which is also wired into the backbone cabling infrastructure. Audiovisual is a discipline of low voltage wiring. Another discipline is telephony. Telephony is the use of a telephone for transmission of sounds as electrical signals between two distance points, as we learned in earlier slides. An IP phone that uses Internet Protocol IP rather than a circuit switch, an IP phone connects through an Ethernet cable to the Internet. There it connects to the IP address of either the VoIP provider or the hosted PBX provider. The biggest trend in remote planning are features of IP phones. Auto attendant, which rings phone lines until the next available agent answers, call forwarding to a mobile device, voicemail to email. A structured cabling infrastructure provides wired connectivity for IP telephones, hosted VoIP telephones, legacy digital telephones, analog stations, telephony decked access points, and fax and credit card machines, sometimes referred to as POS terminals or point of sale terminals. A wireless network allows devices to stay connected to the network but travel wirelessly where the goal is that the user may be free to roam. Wireless access points, or APs, amplify Wi-Fi signals, so a computerized device can be away from a router and still receive network connectivity. Installation of APs require wiring into the structured cabling infrastructure to emit a network connection to workstations and other digital electronic devices. Wi-Fi amplification and other subdisciplines like DOS, distributed antenna system, and ODOS, outside distributed antenna system, also fall under the Wi-Fi discipline, where the goal is to extend wireless accessibility. Security systems are critical to any commercial building. They're helpful in planning reduction in the event of a possible loss. Their purpose is to uphold the safety of physical things, intellectual property, and people. Each organization requires customized security measures depending on what they would like secured and monitored. Examples of security systems are access control, intrusion detection, monitoring, video security camera systems, all of which require wired network connectivity to be placed on a network or wireless connectivity. The biggest difference in the trends of today between copper cable and fiber broadband is speed. So while copper cables such as Cat5e and Cat6 or Cat6a can provide gigabit speeds, it takes a quality hit after being run more than 325 feet. Fiber optic cables can hold quality communications in kilometers. Therefore, internet service providers or ISPs offer fiber connections to their consumers. So why is fiber optics a post-pandemic trend in telecommunications infrastructure? Internet connectivity produced by fiber is faster and it's more reliable than copper cable. So although costly due to its maintenance, fiber cabling is the solution regarding whether the modern world today can handle the capacity needed for our new remote world. Our current White House administration agreed in 2019 to craft a $2 trillion stimulus package to expand broadband access to rural communities. And it will be very interesting in 2020 with a new emerging administration on where those initiatives will be changed. We also have a gubernatorial election here in Rhode Island in 2022, and this will also probably be a platform for a lot of the politicians. Video communication has changed exponentially due to the COVID pandemic in 2020. There are several platforms to choose from which are all customizable to your individual needs. Video conferencing, overhead video projectors, wired-in wireless room microphones and video walls. The ability to collaborate over distance is mission critical for any organization nowadays, especially since people are dispersed between home offices and classrooms. Video conferencing is absolutely the solution. Video conferencing plays a role beyond the office. Doctors can meet with patients, teachers can meet with students, and salespeople can meet with clients. Post-pandemic keyless keyscan entry into commercial buildings eliminates contact touching and is steadily becoming a security trend. Access control allows you to manage access to your facility without the anxiety of tracking keys. Users can be authorized by days of the week or month or by role or responsibilities, by time of day or any combination. Your system can also generate reports based on specific criteria that will allow you to audit system use or even attempted use of doors or areas. Door access can be managed or cloud-based systems which eliminate on-site software and servers, along with their associated costs of maintenance and upgrades. With a cloud-based system, authorized users can manage their access control anywhere via a web browser or even a mobile device. In the trends of today, a thermal camera detects and measures a person's body temperature once an image is captured. If a person is determined to have a high body temperature or a fever, it will notify the user monitoring its activity to make a judgment call of whether that person can enter a building. There are many types of cameras to meet all business sizes. Therefore, these cameras can be wired or work wirelessly. Thermal cameras can also be integrated into a door access system, so entry can be denied to the possible building entrant. In response to the COVID pandemic planning, Amazon was one of the first companies to use thermal cameras to monitor their employees entering their shipping production line facilities. Whether you are managing a traditional IT premise-based network, hybrid with some cloud use, or fully cloud-based, your brick-and-mortar commercial spaces will require some form of cabling infrastructure. If anything, I would ask you to remember from this presentation, it would be that cabling standards really do matter. And if there are any questions, feel free to contact myself or Jana at Vertical 6, and I thank you for listening and attending.